What is up, everybody? Welcome to CTF Sherone Talks Football and happy Thursday. Today I wanted to give you guys my Week 8 NFL predictions. I know I'm a day late, but yesterday I had stuff to do, so I'm going to get it out hopefully before the Thursday night game is out. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get started with the video. Alright, before we get on to the actual predictions, let's go over Week 7. Week 7, I went 11-4 on the week, pretty solid, and now my total record is 64-42-1. Still pretty good record, but I want to improve it. And also, it is good to note that 6 teams are on bye weeks this week. The Arizona Cardinals, Detroit Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars, Las Vegas Raiders, Los Angeles Rams, and Seattle Seahawks. There's a couple teams in here that desperately needed this bye week, like the Raiders and Jaguars, because they have been absolutely awful, especially the Raiders against the Chiefs. And then there's a couple of teams in here that deserve this bye week, like the Lions, Rams, and Seahawks. They're playing extremely well, and it can help them get healthy, especially teams like the Lions that have a bit of injuries, so they can heal up. Alright, so the first game we got is Thursday Night Football. We've got the Vikings at the Chargers. I got the Chargers winning this one 17-27. At this point in time, I have no trust in Carson Wentz, especially the fact that he's been struggling with Kevin O'Connell as his head coach, the quarterback whisperer. Not only does that say a lot for him, but it also says a lot about JJ McCarthy. So hopefully he comes back strong, but it's not looking good for the QBs. In this game, though, I just don't expect the Vikings to do as much. Most of these points are probably going to be in garbage time. Chargers will hopefully get a dominating win because they desperately need one because they have been struggling a tiny bit. So I'm going to take the Chargers here. Up next, we got the first Sunday game of the week. We've got the Dolphins at the Falcons. I've got the Falcons having a very convincing comeback win, 35-12. I just have no faith in Miami. That team is just in a bad spot right now. Mike McDaniel's just throwing his players under the bus, throwing Tua under the bus. And then Tua's on interviews throwing his teammates under the bus that, like, nobody wants to be there. Like, that team's a mess. And then you got the Falcons where they have arguably the best running back in the league right now in Bijan, and I think he's going to have a great day against Miami. And plus, they just had a very frustrating loss to San Francisco last week, so they're looking to bounce back, and I think they will, and they will strongly at home. Up next, we got the Jets at the Bengals. I've got the Bengals kicking their ass here, 9-31. This game's going to be really boring. There's going to be nothing to really watch other than Cincinnati just beating their ass. Honestly, I think it's just the Jets effect where in whatever game they're on, it's going to be boring no matter what because they suck. I think Joe Flacco is going to have another great game. I think Jamar Chase is going to have another great game. And then Chase Brown will hopefully have another great game. This is just going to be all Cincinnati on this one. Up next, we got the Browns at the Patriots. I'm going to pick the Patriots here, but it's not as big as a leading blowout as you would think it is. I'm going to pick them 31-21. And honestly, it's just going to be close because the defense of Cleveland is still pretty good. They can compete with every single team they face. We've seen it time and time again. And plus, when you look at it, Dylan Gabriel's not that great in my opinion, but other than that, their offense is solid, man. Like, they can roll. But it's just unlucky for Cleveland. They're playing one of the best teams in football as of right now, and one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. Like, New England's been on a tear. They've been on a roll. Drake May's been playing some of the best football in his career. Their defense has been really solid. I just think the Patriots will win in some way. I just do not see them losing here. Up next, we got the Giants at the Eagles. I would love to see the Giants win this one, but I'm going to take the Eagles here 24-27 just because they're at home. New York came off of a very embarrassing loss last week in a game they should have won. And then Philadelphia did come off of a win, but honestly, if they would have played anybody other than Minnesota, they probably would have lost. And we've seen how the Giants can perform against Philadelphia. Like, look at that ass beating in New York. But it's just the home advantage for me. I just think the Eagles are going to beat them at home. And I think the Giants will keep it close, definitely. But I think the Eagles will get the last laugh here. Up next, we got Buffalo at Carolina. I almost wanted to pick the Panthers here, but I'm going to stick with Buffalo 24-21. This is just set up to be a trap game. Like, even though they are still a good team, I'm not fully convinced in Buffalo so far this year. They have been looking extremely sluggish, and they have lost 2 games now before the bye week, and they have not looked good doing it. And then also, you got Carolina where they did have a very ugly win last week. They're now a winning team right now. They're 4-3, and their offense has been fighting for the most part. I almost wanted to pick Carolina here because I can definitely see it happen. If they do win this game, I wouldn't be shocked, but I'm going to stick with Buffalo because on paper and real logically, they are the better team. Up next, we got the Bears at the Ravens. I'm going to pick the Bears here 31-20. Honestly, if injuries wasn't a factor, this would probably be the other way around. Actually, maybe that's not the case. Even with Lamar, the Ravens haven't been that great this year. But overall, it's just, obviously, just like I've been saying the last other weeks, no Lamar, no win. Like, if they do not have Lamar playing, they're not going to win this game. And plus, Chicago's been on a roll lately. They're on a 4-game win streak, and I think it's going to move on to a 5-game win streak after this win. Up next, we got the 49ers at the Texans. I was almost going to pick the Texans just to piss Niner fans off because they've been complaining, saying I've been picking them to lose way too much, even though, like, mostly it has been the factor. But I am going to pick the Niners here 27-17. One big thing is what's keeping me from picking the Texans here is the Texans all season, just like last season, has been underwhelming. Like, with how much talent they have, like, the way they've been losing games, it's been a problem. It's honestly because of coaching. And then getting into the topic of coaching, I think coaching is the biggest reason why San Francisco is still winning games, because there's no way a team this battered to hell and injured should be winning all these games as they have. But it's just the fact that they just fight, man. Like, this is a fighting team. Like, there's no reason they should be winning all these games, but they still are, and they're still a really good team. Even though this is on the road, I am going to pick the 49ers here, and they're going to move on to 6-2, battered or not. Up next, we got the Buccaneers at the Saints. I'm going to pick Tampa to win this one 41-20. It's going to be an ugly, ugly game just like last week. Tampa Bay did just have a very disappointing loss to Detroit, but they are injured and battered to hell. But it's New Orleans. Like, we've seen it every single week this year, like, for the most part. They're just an ass team. Like, compared to Tampa, they're one of the best teams in football right now, battered to hell or not. Like, Tampa's going to win this game. Up next, we got the Cowboys at the Broncos. This might be a shock to people, might be an upset to people, but I'm going to roll with the Cowboys here. I'm going to pick them to win 34-28. It's going to be a really good game, though. Simply put, I do not give a shit if they won last week. I am not convinced in Denver. Like, I have never been convinced in Denver so far this season. Their defense especially has been so underwhelming this year, and it's been so overrated that I can't even, like, fathom how disappointing it is to see it. What's also disappointing is saying the truth. Like, the Cowboys are not a bad team. They're actually a very solid team. Like, they're a team that can fight. They have a very good offense, probably the best offense in the league right now. Their defense is ass, but they're playing the special game of F the defense, we'll just outscore you. Up next, we got the Titans at the Colts. I'm going to pick the Colts to win this one 12-47. Plain and simple, the Colts are going to beat the shit out of this team. At least that's how it should be. Like, this screams trap game, but the Colts are just by far better of a team. And I fully expect to have Jonathan Taylor to have around 200 all-purpose yards. If he doesn't, then jail. Like, he's my fantasy running back. He needs to go off, jail. I'm just kidding. I'm just basically trying to say he's going to go off in this game, and the Colts are going to win this one very easily. Up next, we got Sunday Night Football. We've got a classic here. The Packers at the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers revenge game. Here we go. I'm going to pick the upset. I'm going to pick the Steelers to win this game 21-24. I just think it's because the Steelers are playing at home and Aaron Rodgers is facing a team that he knows very, very well. I almost picked the Packers here because of their defense, but honestly, it's been so underwhelming just like Denver so far this year. And plus, like I said, Aaron Rodgers knows this. He knows this team better than he knows his own ass, so I just think the Steelers are going to win this game. Now, based off of what I'm predicting, I am expecting it to be a little low-scoring game, but I am expecting this to be a very, very good game. And finally, the last game we got of the week is Monday Night Football. Thank you so much for not doing two of these. We only need one. We've got the Commanders at the Chiefs. I'm picking the Chiefs to win this one 17-27. I'm just not convincing the Commanders this season, just like I am not with the Broncos. Even though Jaden Daniels is hurt again, I swear to God, it's just like RG3 all over again. It's sad. Even with everyone healthy, I'm still picking the Chiefs here. They're just the better team. They're playing in Kansas City. And just like I said, even with players healthy, the Commanders have just been disappointing. Like, they haven't been as good as they should be. And they just haven't been that NFC Championship contenders they were last year. Like, I just see the Chiefs winning this one. And there you guys have it. That was me giving you guys my Week 8 NFL predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below on how you think your team's going to do this week. In the meantime, that's where I am going to be done for today. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on notification bells so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. That's all I got for today. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.